I need a tan. Really bad, oh my word. Wow. I looked a lot better a few hours ago, but I've been making TikToks. Great ones. You should check them out. I will put the link below. Not gonna lie, I got pretty sweaty and worked up making them, so. Now it's 3 in the morning and yeah, you are here to find out about the accident and the ER trip. So I'm gonna start from the beginning. A few weeks ago, I had a bladder infection and it went away kind of like in a few days. And then a couple days after that, I started having pains in my abdomen region on both sides. Sometimes it was worse on the other, but I wasn't sure for a while if it was from like working out, if I had pulled like a muscle. And I have to drive an hour and a half to go to my doctor due to insurance. So it's kind of like if I don't have a limb that's like dangling off of my body, I kind of don't go to the ER or the hospital until I absolutely have to. I like to wait it out, and in a majority of cases, it takes care of itself. So I kind of had irritations for a few days, and then I did a Valentine's shoot, and it was the night before Valentine's Day, because I procrastinated really bad. There was a day or two where I felt really bad anyways, which I now know is due to the kidney infections. So I had to push stuff back. I did the Valentine's shoot and my left side started hurting like super duper bad. And I was like, oh my gosh, this feels awful. And then it kind of went away. Like, I mean, I was still sore, but it wasn't enough to really like do anything about. So I was like, okay. I was also on my period. So I was like, okay, maybe this just has something to do with that. So that was a huge thing too of why I was waiting it out, because I'm known to have really painful periods and cramping and stuff. So I wasn't sure if it was just something to do with that. A few days passed. On the 19th, I went to eat with my dad. That night, when I came home, I was really sore. I took a nap, and then I woke up and I was like, oh my word, this is not nice. Like, it was so intense. Like, and it happened so fast. Like, I was feeling less like off, took a nap, woke up. It was so intense I could hardly talk because it like hurt to breathe. And it was just terrible. This is where you come in. So you gotta go. I'm like writing you because I honestly could hardly even talk. It was so bad, and like I was getting super lightheaded. I was feeling super bad because I had to breathe like weird because I couldn't like take a full breath in or out. Like I had to like type of deal.
Pant.
Had to pant pretty much. I'm like, think I need to go to the ER. You're like, oh my, pretty much.
Oh my, yeah. That's probably exactly what I said.
You were like, oh my.
So we drive to the ER at like midnight-ish. By the time we actually got there, it's like 2.
The weather is terrible. Starting to get terrible.
Yeah, weather.
With snow and
sleep. Get to the ER. Fantastic visit. She gets a little lit off of some morphine.
So like they're doing all kinds of stuff. They hooked me up to an IV to give me morphine for pain, which was terrible. Did absolutely nothing for the pain. Just made me really high. Did not like it at all.
You should show that clip now.
You were making so many just
at one point she's just sitting there
stories.
and she's like laying there and she's like staring off into fucking space. There's a TV in the room and I don't even know if she was really watching it. She's looking in that direction. I
was waiting for the nurse to go out so I could tell you this because I didn't want to say it when the nurse was there.
And so she's sitting and then she just looks over at me like, I'm fucked up.
I was.
It killed me.
It was awful though. Like I hated it. I was just complaining the entire time. And he was
What's
like,
his name?
But what was I?
Look at me. I don't know.
Don't click at me.
You're...
The CAT scan.
Yeah, you had to get that done.
Stuff.
And then they're like, here's some antibiotics and fuck off.
Pretty much.
So by this time, pushing 6:30 in the morning, skedaddle out to the car. I do. She
hobbles. I'm
still. She's a little messed up and she's in pain and she's not feeling it.
So high. I was in the same amount of pain, but I was just really, really high at the same time, and I did not like it. It was not nice.
So we leave. It's about the same as far as weather goes. It's shit. It's like even worse up there because slightly north of here. Probably 10 degrees colder and everything's like freezing. So we're driving back and I'm being all fucking cautious. Oh, it's like icy and whatnot. Now starting to become daylight. Pretty much raining the whole time, but it's not like it's sprinkling at times. Raining pretty severely at times. We were like right outside of Georgetown at this point.
Kentucky.
Like I had felt a couple of like minor losses of traction for one, just due to the rain and water accumulating on the road. And I was like, okay, we're gonna dial this back. The rain wasn't bad. Like it wasn't raining very hard at this point. So I was dialing back anyway as far as speed goes. Speed limit being 70 miles an hour. And
we were on the interstate. Yeah,
so we're on I-75. And I saw like a car or two that had kind of like spun out on the side of the road. They weren't like wrecked, but they were probably pissing themselves. They like spun into the shoulder and were obviously facing the wrong way. You're like those sign language interpreters. They're just speaking fucking nonsense. So we're like,
we're not. I'm doped up.
Well,
you were driving.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm just in the car in pain, all shriveled up.
So I slowed down. I'm not going very slow. I'm doing like 60. We hit like a puddle, start hydroplaning, and we're starting to lose control here. And I'm like, oh, which I start trying to correct it, which there's not a lot of hope there anyway. You basically let the fuck off the gas, start losing control. The back end on the car that I had, RIP, was kind of like notorious for like getting a little fishy. We're in the middle lanes, 3 lanes at this point, and we turn completely facing the inner wall. We're just sliding sideways.
The best thing is we're sitting there. He was trying to vibe it out, see if he could control it, and this is the best.
That lasted like
it
2 or
was
3
when
seconds.
You realized that you couldn't at that point, and this is when we're sideways.
Yeah,
we're Tokyo drifting.
We're getting to sideways, and I just like looked over at her, and I was like, "Oh shit, we're fucked."
So when he said that though, like it's wild because it all happened so fast, but it was so slow. He said that, and then I like repositioned myself to like pretty much in the seats. We're like, okay, well, this is gonna happen. Let's be prepared as best we can. So I'm sitting real proper.
About that time, shortly thereafter, that moment, we get pretty much completely sideways, and I can feel the rotation of the tires starting to gain some traction, which was not a good thing because now we're aimed directly toward the fucking wall.
Would have been a head-on.
Boom. A little
boom.
Coconut crunch.
Ooh. Yeah. It's one of this like cement road divider.
Yeah, we were about to go straight into that. Like up until this point, I had still been trying to correct it, so like my wheels were pretty much turned completely to the right, trying to track us back that way, but it's rear wheel drive. I had already told her that, hey, we're fucked. And so I just, once I accepted defeat and was like, I'm gonna fucking go into this wall regardless, I was gonna try and take it in the best way possible, which was not fucking head on.
Which I appreciate quite a bit.
Yeah, it would have sucked.
Would have been not nice at all.
Yeah. Airbags happened anyway, but they would have been the big boy airbags and they would have broke our faces.
Oh my lord.
It would hurt, but...
Oh my lord.
And not to mention, just a head on, like that's a sudden stop. So
yeah,
I start just cranking it to the left as fast as I can.
Crank that.
And we're,
Soldier boy.
At this point, we're damn near hitting the wall. Luckily, we're still sliding sideways, obviously.
Is the car hitting the wall yet at this point? When does it graze it?
It grazed it like the front quarter panel, trying to pretty much skim the wall the best if I could.
Yeah, just kind of ride it out.
We're doing fucking, at this point, I mean, we had slowed down some, I'm sure we had lost some speed. When we smacked the wall, my wheels turned completely to the left, okay? So we smacked the wall with the front quarter panel, we start to still slide backwards, but where the wheels turned completely to the left, it started to whip the back end around. Like I start to feel some pull, like it's gonna back us out into the fucking interstate. And at this point we're looking at the cars in the distance.
The oncoming traffic.
The headlights coming toward us. Luckily there was no one around when we initially spun out.
Which was super dope.
Yeah, not for like probably quarter, half a mile, something like that. Let's here with their sound on her phone like it's fucking 1946. So I decide.
You check my aggression, like, it's no
you want to do this?
How do you feel about this?
Which you can tell in the pictures of the car too. There's no damage. No damage is a strong word. There's not much damage to the actual side of the vehicle, like the actual doors. We took it to the front. We slid, started going backwards. We're off of the wall pretty much at that point, and it's about to go this way. And I whipped it to the right as much as possible to get the back end into the wall. Pretty much grinded the shit out of that. Like, it looks probably the worst, I would say. And a lot of the suspension stuff underneath that side of the car had like gave way. I'm pretty sure it's like engineered that way. It's some sort of safety feature. But it didn't take much. Like that whole side of the car, which you'll see too in the footage, like is leaned. Grinded the back quarter panel all down the fucking wall until obviously we stopped. She's sitting there kind of just like...
Grind, it stopped, but then it like hit and bounced a little bit. Like it was...
Yeah, we came out a little bit.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Cause like,
that, the hit, well, I don't know. It was like the first hit, the bounce, I think is when the airbags came out.
Yeah, as soon as we hit the wall, we took it into the wall like that, is when the airbags came out.
Yeah.
Because we came out from the wall off of that, which is why there's no damage really to the side of the car, because we didn't complete the fucking turn into it.
It was just, you know.
I just like to do that. Like, I was on the fucking brakes the whole time, but they're doing little to nothing due to the conditions. So at this point we stopped completely. Thank God. Like, I just turned, because like I hadn't looked at her the whole time that we hit 5-6 seconds that we're in this thing, because I'm trying to like do everything.
Yeah, like the minute it hits, like I remember the impact and I'm all like, bloop, hit the side, airbag comes out. I smell something. I smell like a burning, like just smell, but I figured that was just like the car stuff. It happened, there's the window like airbag, and then there's one that comes out of the seat, which my arm was resting on, which is what did that, which I'll show more and explain more in a second. You gonna lick it?
Is that good stuff?
Oh my God. You should eat a piece of my dead skin.
No, I shouldn't.
Anyways, hold on. So, when it came out, it burned my arms. I have chemical burns from the airbag, and that's what the arm stuff is. But when it came out, it forced me to like punch myself like this. Not even a punch. I don't even know what that is.
Arm yourself.
Arm myself in the ribs, and then that for some reason somehow that like pulled the seatbelt and stuff too. So my seatbelt was so tight.
The seatbelt's too lock.
Yeah, but it was so tight. Like I even looked at it today and I showed it in the video, and I remember it too being so. I was like kind of suspended from it. It was so wild, and it knocked my breath out completely. It was like damn near a full minute, because like we hit. That impact happened, and like I was waiting for a second because I'm all like, and I'm like, okay, dope, I'm alive.
Yeah. So I
can see you moving. But then I was waiting for a second, like, okay, but I don't know position-wise where we're at. I'm kind of waiting for other, like, thumps from other cars. Luckily, that didn't happen. And then the first thing you say is you ask, like, if I'm okay. And you're, like, reaching over and stuff. I'm sitting there, I'm just like, like, I can't talk. You're sitting there talking to me.
And I didn't even notice that she was short of breath. Like, I kind of thought she was not talking just due to, like, kind of being in shock from the whole thing. I'm
sitting there, like, gasping, and I'm, like, showing you, and I'm doing this.
Well, she starts doing this, and I'm thinking it's the fucking seatbelt, like, hurting her. So I undo the seatbelt as best I can, because it was fucking tight.
Oh my lord, it was so tight. Camera overheated.
Overheating camera action.
Where did we leave off at?
I have taken your seatbelt off. She's out of breath. I don't know if that's...
yeah. You're talking to me. I can't talk yet.
She's not talking. Pretty much immediately.
Wild how fast this happened.
Like, yeah, in the middle of, like, I was like, are you okay? And they were already saying shit over the fucking system in the car. Some sort of BMW OnStar gimmick. They're like, oh, we were notified you were in an accident. Is everyone okay? We've already notified the authorities. They're on their way.
Then they were asking if you needed an ambulance. So I looked at me
like, I don't know. And I was like, I don't know. Like,
you're looking at me, and I'm just like,
we've just stopped, like the car just stopped at this point. And I was like, I turned to her, are you okay? And she's like, frozen, stiff, really.
I just
and then she like...
little piece off my arm, ew.
She's like frozen stiff at the time. And she's like doing like that, and I take the seatbelt off, and they're like, we've notified you were in an accident, is everything okay? And this is happening so quick. At which point I was like, I don't know if we need an ambulance. Cause
I was looking around at myself, and then you
if she's okay, because the accident was more so on her side. Like I was...
They had no airbags or anything.
Yeah, the ribs. seemed to affect her for several days.
The ribs were terrible. They're quite a bit better now. They're
I thought
a little
they
bit
might have been broken too,
sensitive.
because of like how she was out of breath and stuff at the time that happened, and so she's out of breath and stuff, and I'm trying to tell OnStar, for lack of better phrasing, whether she's fine or if we need an ambulance. And then she still hasn't talked, and she's like, picks up her arm like that, and she shows me, and I see it burned right there, and I still don't know if it's burned under the sleeve.
Yeah, under the sleeve. I had a hoodie on, which is awesome. It was a hoodie that someone amazing, one of you, sent me from my wish list. It was a YouTube hoodie, my absolute favorite, which was a good luck charm too, because my arm would be so much more bad off if it wasn't for the hoodie that I was wearing. But I'm showing him my hoodie, which I'll attach the picture. Oh wait, I'm gonna grab it. I was gonna do that.
Oh
my god, my legs are asleep. Oh my. Okay, so here is, I don't know if you, where is it at? The back. The back of the arm. These two burn spots where it actually went through are the two big spots on my arm, and then it was burned just like all around where all those spots are from the airbag.
Yeah, it was pretty scalded, I'd say. When she shows me that, she shows me like it burned or whatever, and I was kind of confused at the time too, because I didn't even know that that was a thing in airbags either.
You're
and I can
like,
still smell the burning too. And the woman's on the OnStar, and she's like, "Hey, is everything okay?" I was like, "I fucking know." Like I was freaking out. Sorry, woman on the OnStar. Like I was not.
You were,
pleasant.
and I'm sitting there. All this is going on. But like, honestly, I was so chill. Like I really was, I just couldn't talk yet. But what was wild, like my throat burned so bad from like I guess like the chemical release, and it was so right here, like my throat burned so bad, it was so sore.
Which I'm sitting here thinking the car might be on fire, so I want to get the smell
like it was,
immediately.
And because the other
and there was kind of like a smoke in the car pretty much immediately, which was from obviously the hoodie and skin burning.
Barbecue,
turning on the tabs on the bobby.
I think I signaled you that I don't need one, I'm just showing you my arm.
Right.
And then eventually I'm like, no. Like I'm like,
yeah, she gets her breath back. She tells me that she doesn't need one, or she doesn't think she does at the time. And I said, you know, like at that point I'm kind of like, if we do, we'll just fucking call one. Like,
yeah, and you're like, we gotta get out of the car, we gotta get out of the car.
Because one, I thought it might be on fire, and two, we have semi trucks that are in the fast lane. Like,
and it was like angled to where it wasn't like fully over. It was
like, and I had already seen 2 or 3 cars spun off the road just on the way in. So like, and we know that we just hit that puddle that hydroplane does. So who's to say it's not gonna spin the next person out directly fucking into us? We'll get to that.
You're sitting there trying to get me out of the car, and I'm having trouble moving for a minute because I'm still real. On top of the kidney infection that was going real strong.
Trying to get her out of the car, and you're kind of like on the fence about it. It seemed.
It was entirely because I was having trouble moving at first. Like I knew like it was not good to stay in where we were at, but
yeah, it was definitely not.
It was rough for a minute.
Still raining steady outside, so we're gonna have to stand outside in the rain. But I'm waiting for the cars pass enough, because they seem to kind of come in these waves, a long-ish period of time, a few seconds in between these waves of cars, that we could get across the road and stand over the barricade.
We gotta go, and I'm like, oh, and you're like, we gotta get out. It was like, the next one, we gotta go, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So,
did you kind of like pick me up a little bit?
Well, you had to be helped anyway. I'm not sure exactly how.
I don't remember.
I just know you got out.
I know there was some teamwork. I kind of hobble. I'm halfway there. You were walking like ahead for a second. I get out and I'm going, and there's a car coming. You're like, you gotta go faster than that. You're like, come on. And I'm like, going. I think you were starting to walk towards, I guess, to like help me along, and I'm like, I'm coming. I was like, I'm working on it.
I feel like, honestly, it started raining harder, and I was just like, this is miserable. Because here we are with her. At this point,
at this point, like you
freezing to death.
You were free. You're shaking. Like, so we both were. I had already at that point, the minute we got across, called my mom, let her know what's happening. She's like, okay, keep me updated. Let me know if you need us to come get you. Which my family lives quite a bit farther away.
I called my dad.
Yeah.
To have him come get us, because obviously the car was totaled. I could tell that.
Oh my God.
It was not gonna move. The cop shows up. It's like 8 a.m. at this point. State trooper, sheriff, something. Anyway. Pulls up.
He was awesome.
Super cool. He pulls up to the car. We wave at him from across the street, and he's like, just gives us a nod, like, oh, you're over there. Okay, cool. Pulls over to our side of the road. Tells us to get in the car because we're jackasses standing in the rain.
Going up, and I'm like, this is my first time in a police car. I'm so excited. He's like, really? His vehicle there's an extra, isn't there a cruiser? Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah,
the car smelled so good. It smelled great. Like you told me, I was like, it smells great.
It smelled like bacon. I don't fuck with 12.
It didn't. Oh my gosh. It did. It actually kind of smelled like vanilla, which is odd for me because I really don't like foodie, like bakery scent thing. He was asking what we were doing and everything, and we're like, we're on our way back from Cincinnati from the ER.
He then pulls over to the car. He said he was gonna have a lane shut down in order for the tow truck to get in there and take the car.
I didn't even know a lane was shut down for it.
They didn't really successfully shut it down. So what happens, because I get back out of the cruiser because they asked me to go steer the car while they pull it onto the wrecker because of the positioning of it. They couldn't get the wheels to turn. So I'm in the car at this point. They're trying to pull it, like winch it back onto the rollback. As I'm sitting there, there's another trooper behind us.
I'm in the cop car.
She's in the cop car.
No idea what's going on, honestly. I was so
I think she's taking pictures of her arm and shit.
I only took one. But I'm just sitting there.
Yeah, and I mean,
like, ooh,
at this
because
point,
it was still so hard to breathe, and it was so much harder at this point too from where I hit my ribs and everything. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh.
30 minutes removed from the actual accident. Super atypical, prison tatted, like cornbread fed tow truck driver. He was
the best.
He was awesome. He was fantastic.
So
like
great.
He was such a movie character. It was phenomenal. I was like, are you part of my family? Because you seem like you're my uncle.
It was the best. He was so dope. He really was.
Yeah, he was great.
He drove us back.
Yeah. So like we're in, I'm in the car, the way it's set up. Here's the wall. Here's the car that she's sitting in, which is kind of over the shoulder line in the fast lane. Here's the wrecker doing the same thing because it's big as fuck, pulling the car that I'm in onto the back of it.
Your
and
car.
Here, and
Your
here.
wrecked, totaled
Right.
BMW.
Yeah. R.I.P. And then here's the other trooper. Now he has these fucking light batons, like he's on a fucking runway or whatever.
He's raving.
He's raving.
What he's
and he's trying to get the fucking car.
Finger gloves going.
Yeah, he's trying to get him to
Not
fucking
really.
fuck
That would've
off.
been cool. I never even saw him. I didn't even know there was another one there.
He was,
to be honest.
He was standing more so between my car and his car, and he's directing them to get the fuck over. Because cars were just barreling through still, like not even, it seemed as if they weren't even giving a fuck about the road conditions because they were just zipping by in the fast lane while these two cop cars with lights and everything on, and this guy fucking batoning and shit, like, and this white SUV willing to put money on the fact that they were distracted. I'm on this car, I'm watching the fucking cars because I'm still so fucking like nervous about us getting fucking hit. I see the white SUV coming toward us in the fast lane, driving just straight in the fast lane, and the fucking cop is like signaling real hard, like, get the fuck over, like he's yelling, I can hear everything he's saying. He's like pissed. And the guy, as he approached the police car, just spun the fuck out. And he spins into the lanes and then all the way around and then back. And he spins around and his back end is aimed toward the car she's in. And he backs up right past her, shoots across the 3 lanes, and backs over into the grass. Didn't hit a fucking thing, thank God, but almost hit the car that she was in.
I had no idea. The cop, his car, comes over, whips the back door open. I'm sitting there, and he's just like, he just almost got fucking hit. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, but that asshole right over there. Like, I look and there's this spun out like car. And then he slams the door and he's like walking over, like cussing me out. And I'm like, what just happened?
And like the tow truck driver is sitting there winching me on or whatever. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm looking around to make sure no one got hit because I couldn't really see around anything either. And I look over at the tow truck driver to see if he is reacting to the situation. And I can barely see him, but he's just like he loved it. Like this guy has seen some shit. Baton cop.
The baton cop.
Yeah. He's pissed as fuck. And he's like flipping the guy off and stuff across the fucking street that was like just almost hit him. He's like, you almost hit us, you motherfucker. He was doing like the fucking thing and it was with batons and I was kind of like laughing in my head. Like,
I didn't get to see that. I'm so sad. In all of this, Dad, best person in the world, he ended up driving all the way there, like seeing the accident and following us back. Your car wouldn't get off of the tow truck. It looked like the little kid rides that you put quarters in. It's like, meow, meow, meow. He's just sitting in his poor BMW on this thing like this, and I just look over and you just see him going like this.
It was Great. Pops is like, oh, well, let's get you home.
We're already kind of like debating going to the ER. I was like, I don't know if I really want to go. But then my arm, I had pieces of the sweater like burned into it and stuff. Yeah, it was like melted into my arm, which I have the pictures of. I'll show you guys.
We get in her car and I drive back to Cincinnati. At this point, it's probably 10 a.m. By the time we get back to Cincinnati, it's probably noon. We both have not been asleep, you know.
So I walked in and I go to check in like again. Like, oh, like what are you in for, whatever. And I'm like, I was just literally in here a few hours ago. Kidney infection.
Or guy or whatever it was like, oh, is it worse or whatever? And she was like, no. And she confirmed
yeah, it was a girl. And I'm explaining, I'm like, I live like an hour and a half away. I have to come out here for insurance, about an hour and then drive home. Hydroplane, got in a car accident, and my arm got burned from the airbag. And she was like, oh, what arm? Which this still blows my mind because she works at an ER in Cincinnati. Like, I know for a fact my dad actually works at the hospital that I go to. They see some wild shit in this hospital. And she's like, oh, like, where are you burned at? And I lifted up my arm and I showed her and she was like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah. And then a cop, like security guy, comes over and he's like, you got in an accident like just now on your way from leaving here? And we were like, yeah. So we're here again. They check on my arm. They're like, luckily the burns aren't deep, which is amazing. Again, thank you for the hoodie because this would have been so bad. They're checking all that stuff out. Takes forever. Yeah, we're waiting to get all of the prescriptions and stuff for my arm, the ointment. They gave me like an ointment for it and they told me just to leave it open, let it drain. I was unaware how much burns ooze. Like, we're talking dripping. I think we leave around 3:30. Or yeah, no, is that what time we get back?
Well, yeah, we got back at like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
I slept so hard.
Like, we crashed for like 3 hours and then we got up and went to get prescriptions filled.
But wild to me, like, I was so full of life. Like, I was so about everything. Like, I felt great. Like, physically, I felt terrible, but like mentally, I felt amazing. It was
quite an adrenaline rush and stuff that definitely charged me up losing my car.
That sucks. Thanks for driving me to the ER and totaling your BMW on the way home.
No problem.
And not killing us, which is cool.
Sorry for your arm.
That's okay. It could have been so much worse.
Like that was like one of the things that I kept like. I was like, why couldn't it just been like my arm? You know, or like my side of the fucking car.
It happens how it's supposed to.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not complaining, I'm alive. And like, that was something too, like so many people were writing me and they're like, oh my God, like you're having like the shittiest day ever, you're having the worst day. And like, to me, realistically, like, yeah, like unfortunate things happen, but it was honestly such a good day, really.
There were several opportunities for it to be much, much worse.
Yeah, and like I found out too, like with the kidney stuff, all I needed was antibiotics, didn't need any surgeries, didn't need anything with that. I was like super dope. They started working pretty much like immediately in the first like 72 hours. Like stuff was so much better. It was wild how fast that cleared up, which to me was amazing. And with the car accident, we didn't die. Like your car's totaled, that sucks. No serious injuries or anything. Like I have my arm and sore ribs and I had like a little bruise, which the bruises are pretty much gone and they didn't really bruise that bad anyways, which is wild. But I'm taking like so many vitamins and stuff right now. I feel like that has quite a bit to do with that too. I didn't show this up close. I'm gonna mainly show pictures of it. Looks pretty good now. Okay. Yeah, there's like some bruising up here, which a lot of it's gone. The car does suck, but.
I mean, it could be someone, like, it's a fucking car. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, you only had it for like 9 months.
Yeah, I had the car for 9, I got it last April.
Oh. So. I mean,
but even then,
the exact same car. You can get the exact same car.
Like I said last time, which I won't
get the exact same you or me.
Which I wouldn't get the exact same car because even when I bought that car, my entire fucking gripe about the thing, which could have been the whole. Well, let's not get too esoteric, but it could have been the entire universe responding to my gripe about the car. Was it didn't have a fucking sunroof, so maybe. It aligned to take this car away from me in order to buck up and buy a new one with the fucking sunroof. I bitched about that sunroof.
You did. It was so great to ride in it and be like, you know what would make this car ride perfect?
Sunroof. It would have.
It's so itchy right now around it and I don't want to like scratch. I can't. It's still so sensitive. But like I can scratch like around it. Like the worst thing is like I have to let it air out, but it'll stick to stuff and like super gross. Ugh. I was sleeping. I have a pillow that I bought just to kind of like prop my arm and put it on.
The goopy meat pillow.
The goopy meat pillow.
Oh, you should see this thing. You should get the goopy meat pillow.
Oh my gosh.
Wicked gross.
It's not too bad because I scratched a lot of it off.
She plays with it.
This is my pillow that has all my skin and goop just sticking to it. There's the one. You can see the 2 spots from the 2 on here. I was sleeping and it stuck to it and it pulled off. Like I turned and it ripped so much of the skin off. It was so bad. I woke up like screaming. It was terrible. It's crunchy. You can hear.
I bet that would be terrible. No. No.
I have my skin.
No.
Luckily, it's honestly pretty much past the gooping stage, which is really nice.
That's a technical term in the medical industry, so in case you don't know what she's talking about.
It oozes. It has like a thick, clear, yellowish tint slime.
Machismo?
What are you doing on about? What are you doing?
Does she ooze machismo?
I don't know who that is. What is that? Who's that?
It's the bad guy.
What? You always do this to me.
If you know what ooze machismo and the bad guy, if you know what the fuck I'm talking about, tell me in the comments.
R.I.P. Poor BMW. So this is the inside. I was holding a Sprite when it happened and I flung it all over the car. And this is the airbag that burned my arm. So if I wasn't wearing my hoodie, like my arm would have been a lot worse off. I got Sprite everywhere in this car. Oh my Lord. My seatbelt was like stuck. It doesn't move, like it was so tight. He had to unbuckle me. So I have like that bruise on my side from where this was pulled in because it was pretty snug. Oh shit, my glasses. I was wondering where these went. Ha ha ha! My other camera died, but this is how tight the seatbelt was. Like I could not move. It was wild. Like I can't even get it to reach. This is that. Life is cool. Super happy to have mine. That's so wild, it completely like pulled the seat out. His poor car. I made such a mess of it. There's my french fries. Oh my. There's the Sprite! The Sprite! How old do you even think this is? We found this in the car.
That was before, that's been before even the raccoon incident. That's months it's been in the trunk.
No.
Is it in the trunk or is it in the back of the car?
It was in the trunk.
Oh,
it's under.
Who knows, 6 months.
That is terrible. Why is it still wet? Oh my gosh. It hissed at me. I opened it up and it hissed. I really don't want to do this. It's gonna smell so bad.
Why didn't you just pop the thing open?
Because I don't know.
Okay. Smell it. I smell it from here.
That is so bad. That is disgusting. What is in it? So people
That's just protein.
Don't know.
Just protein shake from 6 months ago.
It smells like decaying animal. Do you want to smell it?
No, I smelled it from here.
Oh, that was worse than the car accident. And that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed this story time of me going to the ER. Find out my kidneys had a little nonsense, had a little bacteria party going on in them.
I'm the bad guy.
And then getting in a car did a little loop-de-loop spinny boy into the wall on the way home. And then this, what is, okay.
I'm oozing machismo.
It reminds me of something about Mary.
It reminds me of oozing machismo.
Oh,
she oozes elbow.
You gonna use some of my goop if I can get some?
I don't want to use your goop because then I'll ooze elbow, and I want to ooze machismo.
So much stuff gets stuck in this. That was the story time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the love and support from you guys checking in on me and everything. It's been hectic.
I'm the bad guy.
I don't know. Oh my god. Oh my lord. What time is it? You're in that mood.
What's that? Hey,
Make sure you follow him on Instagram.
It isn't, but it should be at the bad guy. It's actually at Alexane.
It'll be linked below.
Hashtag the bad guy.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and I promise there will be more videos soon. I have quite a few planned and some that are already filmed. Yeah. Mwah.
I'm the bad guy.
Okay. You're the bad guy. You're the baddest of guys.
Yes. Top that.
I can't. Oh, yeah, I
Top
can.
that.